Hello, fellow runners. I was recently in a conundrum. I was looking for trail shoes to buy, and I couldn't decide. There were a bunch of really good options, and there were two that really kept rising to the top in terms of reviews and how much people knew and respected them. And those two shoes were the New Balance Minimus and the Merrell Trail Glove 2. So instead of choosing one, I just bought both, obviously. But it was a really hard choice, and there are some really good things about both shoes, although there are some important differences. And I was trying to look around for articles that might help me decide, and there were a few good ones. But I wanted to make a video, give my own 2 cents, and also I'm not affiliated with either company, so I have no reason to promote one or the other. So I'm just going to do a quick review of the pros and cons of each shoe and kind of compare them a little bit, and hopefully help you make that choice. So both shoes are minimalist shoes. There's not a lot of, which means there's just not a lot of material between your foot and the earth when you're running, which is something I really like. And so I'll start off with the Minimus. This is what it looks like. It's kind of got a cool design. The lacing is very sturdy. His upper mesh part is very breathable, very soft, which is nice. It's got this Vibram sole. It's got a 4mm drop from heel to toe, so it's not exactly your 100% barefoot feel. Although for me, that has actually been extremely beneficial because I spent several months this year running in the Trail Glove on trails that were very rocky and hilly and rooty, and just the terrain was very rugged, and it really beat up my legs. And recently I switched to the Minimus, and it's felt a lot better on my legs because that little bit of extra protection has helped me a lot. Especially, I think the fact that there's a 4mm drop actually helps because going up hills, it means my calf doesn't have to work as hard to push my leg up each time. The protection's also great, just getting kind of less beat up than I would have in the Trail Glove too. It has a very wide toe box. The fit is great. The first time I put it on, it kind of felt like a cloud, especially compared to the Trail Glove 2, which is very minimal in terms of its material used. So I'll talk about that now. So this is my old pair. This is after about 400 miles. It's got also very breathable mesh part right here. Very lightweight, a little bit lighter than the Minimus. Vibram sole again. So you'll notice that there's this rip right here, and same thing on the other shoe, right here and right here. This started to appear after about 250 miles, which now that I think about it is kind of nearing the end of a normal shoe's lifespan. I put up to like 400 miles on it and then kind of stopped using them. So it really didn't affect me too much, though. I mean, that doesn't really affect the kinetics of the shoe. But I kind of would have liked it to not rip, just yeah, because it would have been cool. But overall, this is also a great shoe. The major difference is that there's very little protection. Again, because of that 0mm drop from heel to toe, your legs are doing a little bit more work than they would in the Minimus. But it does really have that barefoot feel. You can feel pretty much everything on the trail, very connected to the earth. And also what that meant too was when I switched to the Minimus, which had that little bit more bit of padding and protection, was that I was a little bit more wobbly on the Minimus because just that little bit more material and protection, although it was very helpful, also meant that I just lost a little bit in terms of traction. So again, this is great, great in terms of grip, feels really good. But again, because of the just bare minimum amount of material used, just consider that when you're making your decision, because it's gonna do a little bit more of a number on your legs and feet. So personally, right now, I really love the Minimus. I think a little bit more than Trail Glove because of the nature of the trails that I run on, which again I said are hilly and rocky, and kind of technical. So so the Minimus is very helpful for me, and it helps my legs to feel better after each run, whereas in the Trail Glove I felt like I needed like a long recovery time. But if you're running on maybe a softer trail, or one that's flatter, the Trail Glove might be great, and also especially if you really value the minimalist barefoot ideals, which I do too. But in terms of practically speaking, like my feet just need a little bit more protection, which the Minimus offers. So yeah, consider that when you're making your decision. Consider what types of trails you're going to be running on. Also, especially if there's going to be pavement in your trails, Minimus will probably help your legs a little bit more than the Trail Glove. Consider what you believe in terms of shoe philosophy, because the Trail Glove again will be closer to the barefoot and true minimalist feel, and just consider the overall feeling that you want out of your shoe. This is comfortable, and this is still comfortable, but a little bit less so. And also, I don't know if I mentioned, the toe box in both of these is very, very spacious, which is a nice feeling. And also, one more thing in terms of sizing. So the Minimus that I have is a 9.5, and it fits very well. This was also a 9.5, and it was a little bit big. So I ordered this in a 9. So consider, if you're going to order the Trail Glove, consider ordering a half size smaller than you usually do. I found the Minimus was pretty true to fit, and the Trail Glove was a little bit bigger than I expected. Yeah, so I hope this information helps you make your decision if you're looking at minimalist trail shoes. If there's anything I missed, feel free to let me know. I can do some research or give you my own opinion on it, and also let me know if you have any questions. Yeah, so I hope this helped, and happy running.